fine before. Yeah, it was fine. Okay, so we're going to upload this to YouTube a little bit later when we're going to keep everything up and running as we are here. We're going to make sure that everything's going okay. We were just suffering a little bit of network connectivity problems. Everybody's had them. It's fine. So yeah, my name is Owen Money. Thank you for being here for the Season 20 Championship bout. The first bout this evening is going to be between the Bangers and the Violent Friends. Crazy. Okay. I am. People need to stop moving my table. For stability purposes, I'm just gonna let it record. My blood pressure is usually high enough. Awesome. Thanks, Brandon. All right, here we go. Number 8 is Batty Longlegs. Number 303 is Crescent Wench. That is for the Friends and the Bangers, respectively. I think we're ready to go. That was not our whistle. This is our whistle. Okay, for third place, here goes Crescent Wench against Batty Longlegs. Batty Longlegs shoving against, that'll be Rude Barb, and then get recycled down by Aria. We've got our very first quick penalty of the evening. But it is going to be on a banger for a forearm. Batty Longlegs, meanwhile, is out for lead jammer for the Friends. Coming back around for points, as it appears Rude Bar picked up that forearm penalty. We have a Crescent Wench is out, ready to pick up some points until Batty Longlegs goes around trying to get some more points for the Friends before calling it off. Little apex hop, staying on one hand. Staying on one foot, rather. Batty Longlegs with a lovely apex hop and balance. Way to stick the landing. Very well done. So that'll put their score up to 4. 4 quick points. Oh, we've got a little bit of a switcher. Oh, Batty picked up, Things happen. Things happen so fast in roller derby, you see. So that'll be Batty Longlegs sitting in the penalty box. That means that the Bangers are going to start on a power jam. Patty Narr is going to be trying to put up some points for the Bangers. Finding a gap and getting around Daryl B. Blood finally, but getting caught once again by Cutie, Electric Cutie, Oxford Trauma, and Marlboro Dread. Batty is standing in the box, as you can see in front of you. Ooh, shout out to knee pads. Comes Batty Longlegs for her initial pass, and pass she does. Oh, she got that lead jammer status. Batty had not gotten out of the pack yet. So Batty is back doing her Batty Longlegs shenanigans, picking up 4 more points for the Friends. We have a forearm being called on Marlboro Dread. Another step around from Batty Longlegs and calling it off. Took a little breather in the box and popped out for 8 points. 4 points, excuse me. Math is real hard. Number 996 for the Bangers. Scarlet Express, shout out to Mr. and the parents, Scarlet Express, here in the building today. Thanks for joining me. Number 209 for the Friends is going to be Halibut. And away goes jam number 3. Halibut getting around, trying to get around Boots, Nacho Lady, Flirty Fly, and very finally at the top there is Yes Chef. That'll be a lead jammer for the Friends. We have a high block being called on number 11, Pop Roxy. So she will spend a little bit of time in the box saying hello to her fellow veteran, Marlboro Dread. Halibut picks up 4 points, is eyeing up Scarlet Express's approach. Scarlet Express running into Bruce and Susan. And Assault and Nattery picks up 4 points for the Bangers, and Scarlet Express getting the Bangers on the board finally. Halibut running her down, getting those crossovers in around the apex. They've all approached. We have a little Halibut telling her team to go faster, but Scarlet Express out for 4 more points. So Halibut making sure that the score differential stays as it was, but that was 8 big points there for Scarlet Express and the Bangers. 12 more for the Friends. Someone else can do the math on that, but I'm pretty sure like 16 points separating these two teams. Crescent Wench is back underneath the blue star for the Bangers. Road Rage jamming for the first time this evening, likely not the last. Got a Bangers, Bangers, Bangers chant going through the crowd. Road Rage nearly able to get around Boots, but gets shoved out of bounds to the outside, tries to the inside, and a similar result is produced. Oh, big hit there from Boots on Road Rage. Road Rage, this is newer jammer. We've got some kind of penalty being called. It looks like it's going to be on number 81. That'll be Hex Girlfriend skating in their first bout as a Bangers fresh out of the Satellites program. Strong shapes from both teams. Crescent Wench gets knocked to the ground there by Disco Scream, being braced by Daryl B. Blood. And a blocking alongside Hips Ahoy. Ooh, very last second hit out there by Boots. Keeps Road Rage from picking up lead jammer. Meanwhile, Crescent Wench is out for lead, trying to get that star pass over to Hips. Is Road Rage. Hips Ahoy, unfortunately for the Friends, is a little busy at the moment. Crescent Wench picking up 4 points, eating into that 16-point lead. Well, it's a 12-point lead now. Heard some yelling. I'm sure it's fine. The star pass has occurred. That means that Hips Ahoy is going to be the jammer. And Crescent Wench is going to call it off. Whole lot of yelling, whole lot of action, and we are looking at just now a 9-point lead for the Friends after jumping out to that quick 16-point lead. Night Terror getting a high five from Patty Nahr. That'll be Friends and Bangers respectively. Here comes jam number 5. Thanks for joining us on this special rebroadcast of the championship bout. All right, Night Terror trying to get through, looks like Sass. Oh, Sass is fostering. So we got Sass, we got El Dente, and Scarlet Raven. That'll be Marlboro Dread attempting to provide some offense for Night Terror. Unsuccessful, so it goes back to defense. Rude Barb trying to offend Pop Roxy. Pop Roxy does not easily offend. Pop Roxy able to hit Patty Nahr to the inside. Marlboro Dread dropping for a bridge. Pop Roxy recognizing a knockout and attempting to pick. Oh, that'll be Oxford Trauma picking up that forearm call, so that means that Patty Nahr is going to have to get through one fewer friend. Gets through all of them except for Pop Roxy, going up there for a final-ditch effort, buying enough time for her teammates to join her. And a final hit out there for Marlboro Dread is going to mean that Patty Nahr has to do it all over again. Meanwhile, Night Terror trying to out-foot race a couple of, yep, that'll be, oh, it's not actually Sassberry. But we've got a star pass, which means Al Dente is going to be the jammer of note now for the Bangers. I am going to consult my handy-dandy rosters. Night Terror being yelled at to call it. They do. That'll be none for the Bangers and 3 for the Friends. Tacking a few more on. Deja Brews, excuse me. That is 906 Deja Brews, the person that I thought was Sassberry. Because my eyes are bad, and the numbers are similar. The glasses do nothing. They're trying, but I don't know. 5 seconds until jam number 6. It'll be Yes Chef for the Bangers and Batty Longlegs for the Friends. Yes Chef getting into the mix here with a big tripod and able to shove her way through is Yes Chef. Yes Chef, Yes Chef. Approaching the back, trying to pick up some points before Batty gets there. Batty does get there, runs into everybody. Can you back block your own team? You can. Incredible stuff. Snarly Parker provided a very key block there against Nacho Lady to allow that pass to or that initial pass to be successful. Assault Nattery sitting in the box at the beginning of jam number 7 for the Friends. Hex Girlfriend back out there for the Bangers, going up against Halibut. Disco, oh, we've got a lot. Oh, that'll be Halibut barely beating out Hex Girlfriend to get to the front of the pack, and a little bit of jammer on jammer action puts some distance between them. Halibut putting on the moves and making it through and calling it off. A little hit it and quit it action. Brought to you by Halibut and the Friends. Little high five between jammers. That was a real close one. Hex Girlfriend saw a very wide opening on the inside track and was able to get through, but Halibut was able to get into a foot race and beat him out. 38-19, 19 points difference. Road Rage once again for the Friends. El Dente jamming for the first time this evening for the Bangers. Boots providing some offense, little jostle back and forth, provided a lane. Twinkling some toes, and El Dente is out just in time. Half a track behind is now Road Rage out of the pack. Friends trying to speed the pack up so they're not a point. Hips Ahoy directing some traffic. Trying to get everybody up into the front. El Dente was caught behind some of her own blockers, it seemed. Road Rage approached the back. 1 point for the Bangers. 18-point lead now for the Friends. Timeout Bangers. This timeout is brought to you by me reading my ad copy. Museum Services. For 5 decades, Museum Services has been dedicated to protecting, preserving, and promoting the fine arts. Experts for all your art handling needs, including installations, framing, shipping, crating, and storage. Thank you to Museum Services. Many years of sponsorship behind them. Love to hear it. Let's go back to these rosters while I've got a couple of seconds. For the Bangers, number 42, A Girl Has No Name. 303 is Crescent Wench. Number 520 is Flirty Fly. Number 81 is Hex Girlfriend. Again, brand new from the Satellites program. Number 80 is Kitten Boots. Number 12 is El Dente. 57 is Nacho Lady, one of the captains. Number 510 is Patty Nar. 314, Rude Barb. 996, Scarlet Express. Number 1133 is Scrap Baby. Number 86 is Yes Chef. 906, Deja Brews. Number 45 is Scarlet Raven. They are bench coached by Alabama Slamma, Judgment Bay, She Coli, and Stabby Cat, all former Bangers. You know, with the power of video editing and me having some time to throw this up on the old YouTubes, I just might put the skater intros in there first because they are pretty dope. Here we go. Night Terror is going to be jamming for the Friends, trying to take advantage of some offense there by Pop Roxy. Hopping on the toes and staying in bounds on the inside line is Night Terror. Out for lead jammer. Meanwhile, Scarlet Express has stashed the star. Could pass it to Yes Chef, her pivot. Has not happened because Yes Chef is busy running back on Night Terror to keep them from scoring some more points. Ooh, Night Terror running legally into Rude Barb, and they both go down. We have a blue 8-6 back blocks. That'll be Yes Chef heading to the penalty box. Scarlet Express is caught behind Marlboro Dread, Electrocutie, Pop Roxy, and that appears to be Bruce and Susan, a.k.a. Bruce, to her friends. Both in red and socially. Pop Roxy with a calculated bump to the inside. Night Terror taking advantage of and perhaps picking up a track cut. I thought I saw that toe stop hit the rope, and it did. Unfortunate for the Friends. Bruce and Susan rejoins Pop Roxy. We've got Electrocutie trying to fight her way through some offense being provided by the Bangers. Pop Roxy once again using that firm and authoritative shoulder to the outside. Oop, yes, Chef comes back in to run into Pop Roxy. Keep her from going any further back. Pop Roxy fighting her way to the front, making sure that Scarlet Express, if she does get through the three violent friends in the back, not able to pick anything else up. Bruce and Susan lucky. Pop Roxy with another shove to the outside. Oh, that was a star pass. Okay, so that is Yes Chef now being the jammer of note. Ooh, big hit and flying in. That is another track cut by number 206, Night Terror. Night Terror picking up some love from the fans. That high flying action. Woo! High flying action is always fun to watch. We don't have a team timeout. It's just the friends coming to the track a little bit later than the bangers. That's fine. Friends are on a penalty kill, and the bangers are on a power jam. Crescent Wench going to try to take advantage of that lack of jammer for the friends. Got that conga line offense on the inside line, getting sniffed out there by the friends. Disco Scream providing enough defense, allowing Assault and Nadre to pop in there to hit Crescent Wench to the inside. Everybody's kind of, clumped up on that pivot line. The bangers offense finally coagulates, and away goes Crescent Wench. Thanks for joining us here again, folks. We have the bench telling the skaters to get together. Together they do for the friends. Night Terror has been released, so the clock is now ticking for Crescent Wench to get some points and call it off. Night Terror out there for 2 more minutes, perhaps. We shall see. Stalwart defense being played by every blocker on the track at the moment. That's Daryl B. Blood bracing Disco Scream and Assault and Nattery. Providing the bridge for the Violent Friends is Snarly Parker. We got our destruction of the pack being called on Disco Scream. Crescent Wench managed to hit the exact right spot of like 15 different skaters. Well, it can't possibly be 15 skaters, but Assault and Nattery picking up a very sneaky star pass there from Night Terror. Assault and Nattery now stuck, and out she goes. Great moves there to the inside by Assault and Nattery, able to hopefully stop the bleeding for the friends. Crescent Wench being yelled at to call it, recognizes that Bon Bon Voyage is once again signaling to put those hands on those hips. Call it, they do, and away goes jam number 10 of the first half. Whole lot of action coming at you from Quincy Hall in Northeast Minneapolis. Thanks for joining us here on YouTube on this special rebroadcast of the Season 20 Championship Bout. I'm Owen Money. It's lovely to have you here. 5 seconds until jam 11. And it will be against Batty Longlegs for the friends. Al Dente for the bangers. Batty able to stay on one leg and unbounds, and away she goes for lead jammer status. Disco Scream has left the box and is rejoining her friends at the front of the pack. A lone friend is remaining in the box, and that'll be Daryl B. Blood. Al Dente is approaching the back. Batty being told to call it. Big spill on that attempted apex hop. That was a tailbone, I believe, and we're going to go to our respectful ticker. Special shout out to Kim Monahan. She is your local Northwestern Mutual financial advisor who believes that everyone deserves a financial plan and that the starting point of any financial conversation should be with you, your life, your family, your priorities, and your goals. You can connect with her at the vendor tables here or call 952-224-3822 to learn more about how you can build a financial plan that prioritizes what is most important to you. Thank you to Kim Monahan for your extended support for North Star Roller Derby. Shout out to our track maintenance volunteers. We have Raven the Dead and Blunt Force Trauma. Al Dente is on her skates. Looks like just a little shaken up, perhaps. We will find out. Our official review is being called by the Bangers. An official review is when either captain or any of the captains from either team saw something that perhaps the officials missed. They do not have the luxury of instant replay, so it's always kind of a, hey, I saw this. Did you see that? And you're like, you know what? I did see that. Or you know what? I did not see any of that. So you never know. Could be rules, could be a track cut, could be points awarded. A great number of things can occur during an official review, including more ad reads. Cream and Amber, a local independent community-oriented bookstore run by our very own Carmageddon, who you will be seeing in our next bout this evening. They are selling books and stickers at the table here in Quincy Hall, and 20% of the proceeds go to North Star Roller Derby. Go find them on Main Street in Hopkins. Lovely little town, Hopkins. If you like raspberries. If you don't like raspberries, it's still pretty cool. Alrighty, it appears that our official review is winding down. Sometimes teams call official reviews when they just, don't have anything else to do or want to give their skaters a break and they're out of other timeouts, which is totally legit. We allow that to happen. The official review was unsuccessful. Perhaps I will find out what it was, and then through the power of video editing, I can explain what it is here, instead of just yammering on forever and ever. Snarly Parker getting some shout-outs from the crowd. So for jam number 12, we're going to have Halibut 219 going up against 86. That's Yes Chef for the Bangers. Super loud whistles are being blasted. 5 seconds is being called. And away we go. Yes Chef trying to take advantage of more Boots offense, and Halibut able to beat the Yes Chef to the lead jammer ticket. I don't know. There's like some food service thing going on in there someplace. Pop Roxy and Boots having that's a big hit there by Halibut on Boots. And we're going to get a high block penalty being called upon. That'll be Pop Roxy for her second penalty of the evening. And Halibut picks up 4 points. Yes Chef is out after stashing the star. Halibut trying to juke to the outside around Nacho Lady. There's Scarlet Express as well as Scrap Baby blocking for the Bangers. Halibut able to stay up and is going to be getting just around Kitten Boots. Able to stay in bounds and stand up. Oh, Yes Chef picked up a penalty. So this is going to be a power jam. You already knew that. You're watching. You're paying attention. Oxford Trauma providing some blunt force trauma. Halibut able to shove through and stay in bounds on the inside line against Kitten Boots and calls off the jam after Pop Roxy is out. Pop Roxy pretty stoked on that. Sticking that Yes Chef in the box for, I believe, 2 seconds is what Yes Chef was indicating there. Again, you're watching, you're paying attention, right? You're not just like having this on in the background, right? I know who you are, you non-watchers, just listeners. Road Rage is going to try to go ahead with the power jam duties for the Friends. Everybody's kind of flat on that jammer line. Looks like the Bangers were anticipating a little bit of offense. Jammer is in play. Yes Chef is going to take a right and bop over to, that'll be Marlboro Dread, Assault and Nattery, Daryl B. Blood, and the final blocker there is going to be Bruisin' Susan. And out goes Yes Chef despite spending the first 2 seconds of the jam in the box, picking up lead jammer status. Road Rage beating feet and getting out, able to beat A Girl Has No Name, a.k.a. Aria, and Rude Barb. Yes Chef picking up some 4 big points for them Bangers. Great offense, great recognition of the offense and taking advantage of it. Offense in this game is a two-way street. You can't just, it's like kind of like a running back in football, right? You got to follow your blockers and be aware of what's going on. So shout out to all of our younger skaters picking it up real quick. That's a lot of chaos out there, folks. 5 seconds until Jam 14, half number 1 of game 1 of the championship bout. Patty Narr trying to get around Snarly Parker and Disco Scream, Hips Ahoy, and Pop Roxy. Night Terror trying to get around Kitten Boot, Scrap Baby, and Crescent Wench. Hex Girlfriend wisely backing off there and providing a bridge to keep her blockers in play. Patty Narr seeing Hips Ahoy and getting ran all the way back to the jammer line. Hips attempting more defense. And we're all kind of back to where we were 5 seconds ago. Night Terror has the star hat off already. Hips Ahoy trying to come back and grab it. And the grab is done. Trying to get around Snarly Parker is Hips Ahoy and getting to the outside. So that means that Patty Narr, while having, well, Hips Ahoy was out first. Patty Narr gets out in a legal I'm now the lead jammer way. Because, you know, they kept the star on their head the whole time. So that means they get to be lead jammer. The other person didn't get to be a lead jammer. So, yeah. They'll call it so as not to... oh, that's why I was getting confused with Deja Bruce's uniform. Because it's the right number. It's 906, but it says... we're trying to keep it PG-13 here, folks. So I'm not going to tell you what the altered name on the back of the jersey is. You can see it in, you know, beautiful 60 frame per second high def on YouTube if you want. Batty Longlegs against Scarlet Express. Shout out to Kevin and Aaron. Batty trying to find some daylight on the inside. Both skaters had that idea, but now they both go to the inside, back to the outside. Batty Longlegs does a little quick toe tap to the out of bounds, but comes back in legally. Bunch of side surfing and being a knife, not a hammer, is Batty Longlegs' approach. Hat in hand now for Scarlet Express, looking for the long arms of El Dente. El Dente getting a little hip check by Batty Longlegs, and she's out for 4 more points, extending that Violent Friends lead. Bit of an apex step. We got some shrugs between Nelly and Sauerkraut, and the shrugs apparently mean you're getting a track cut, Batty. That means that the Bangers are on a power jam for another 30 seconds. They cannot call it off, so Batty will get out of the box. There's a minute left. El Dente scooting to the outside, calling for some offense. Offense approaches in the form of Rude Barb, trying to twinkle those toes to the inside. We have a destruction, I believe, penalty being called on Oxford Trauma. Heading over to the box as Batty is about to be released. Meanwhile, El Dente's out for 4 points. Batty's coming in. Makes contact with Scarlet Express and the rest of the Bangers. Dances the outside for 4 more points. It's going for the next 19 seconds. El Dente did that toe tap. That toe tapped, and she kind of knew it. Nothing gets by our officials. This is the last 7 seconds of the first half. Can Batty put any more points on the board? Ooh, so that means that when we come back, both jammers will be in the box, and that means that the Bangers are going to start on a power jam to start the second half. We are going to go ahead with our first intermissions entertainment. You got about 9 minutes and 36 seconds, if you can hear my voice, to go up and stretch your legs. Unless you want to watch some remote control roller skates. That's right, remote control roller skates zip around on our track. It's going to be super duper fun. It is always chaotic, because we're expecting people to know how to operate remote control vehicles. You think it's easy. It's not easy. I see you all out there. Thanks again for joining us on this special rebroadcast of the Season 20 Championship Bout. We are just wrapping up the first half of the first game this evening between the Bangers and the Friends. They're duking it out for the third place finish of Season 20. And the Boots are already running amok. Boots, skates, you know what I mean. Yeah, you can't take those corners at such high speeds. You've seen SUVs. These are even worse than those. A little roller skate destruction derby. We haven't set up the start or finish line, so I guess they're just kind of inventing their own. They're doing something down there. I will leave you with the dulcet tones and room noise. I will return very shortly in approximately 8 minutes and 8 seconds. It's going to be really close to that, I betcha. Anyways, I'm Owen Money, and I will be talking to you in just a little bit. Well, 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 it's more roller derby brought to you by North Star Roller Derby here at Quincy Hall in Northeast Minneapolis. My name is Owen Money, and we're about to begin the second half of the first game in a pretty fun way to do it. Both jammers are serving penalties in the penalty box. El Dente for the Bangers was there first, so they will be released first. And however long El Dente spent in the box will be how much time Batty spends in the box. So, here we go. Bob Roxy is going to juke to the back. Oh, they're both being released at basically the same time. We've got a note. That might be a little bit too far. Nope, that's just far enough. So, no pack is being called. We've got a, yep, and there goes Batty Longlegs out for lead jammer. A little bit of confusion there in the back of the pack. El Dente trying to get around Hips Ahoy and Disco Scream and Pop Roxy. Starley Parker there providing some defense as well. We have a destruction of the pack penalty being called on Disco Scream. Batty Longlegs is going to call it off before El Dente is able to pick up any points. Unfortunately for Disco Scream, trapping her in the box. Another quick whistle is being called. It appears that we have a track maintenance need. Oh no, I'm sorry. It's an official review brought to you by the Bangers. The Bangers are going to be officially reviewing the very first thing that happens in the second half of game number 1. Speaking of things that are happening, I'm reading this ad copy. True North Roofing, woman-owned and led residential contractor serving the Twin Cities, locally owned, licensed, and insured. Our craftspeople are here to provide excellent care and service for Minnesota homeowners. TrueNorth-roofing.com. Thanks to all of our lovely sponsors. The feed that you are looking at now is the same feed that is up on the quote-unquote Jumbotrons that you can kind of see just underneath where it has the Bangers score and just to the left of our little sponsorship ticker in the top right-hand corner of your screen. We are on wireless HDMI, and I may pinch some pennies to have Quincy Hall run me an HDMI cable from the opposite corner over to the other scoreboard that you can see underneath the Bangers on that giant trapezoidal wall. It is a trapezoid. It's not a pyramid, or it's not a triangle. They cut the top off. That's a trapezoid, I think. No, it's totally a trapezoid. I know shapes. Everybody's had a little chat. Looks like Halibut is not going to be jamming. Well, 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 it looks like somebody won their official review. Whatever it was for the Bangers, they've stuck now 2 additional friends in the penalty box, including Batty as the jammer. So, Crescent Wench is going to start off as the jammer for the Bangers. 5 seconds is called. Daryl B. Blood and Oxford Trauma, the 2 blockers of note for the Friends, trying to hold off. Oops, and that'll be good offense being played there by A Girl Has No Name against Oxford Trauma. Crescent Wench out real quick for that lead jammer. 30 points separating these 2 teams. Maybe a direction of play penalty most likely being called. Oh, wait, no, there's a track cut penalty being called on A Girl Has No Name. So it's a little bit of blue for your penalty box. All 3 friends are out at the same time. Batty Longlegs doing that Batty Long-legged tiptoe on the outside apex for not lead jammer status. Only about 40 feet behind the pack as Crescent Wench pushes against it. Big shoulder there from Kitten Boots against Batty Longlegs. Batty Longlegs able to absorb the second one and pick up 4 points. Disco Scream once again going to the box for the Violent Friends. I believe that's her 3rd. Scarlet Express once again jamming for the Bangers. 219 Halibut for the Violent Friends. Both teams starting 1 blocker down. Scarlet Express gets in trouble. She'll have to wait for her pivot to rejoin the pack. Scarlet Express approaching Bruce and Susan, Pop Roxy, and Electric Cutie. Aria is out of the box, rejoining her team. Lee Jammer goes to the Violent Friends for jam number 3 of period number 2 of the very first game. Another penalty being called there on A Girl Has No Name, which means the Scarlet Express is all by her lonesome. Doesn't matter. Picked up, not Lee Jammer, stayed in bounds, and now the clock is ticking and the pressure is on for Halibut to call it off or keep it going. Bench staff debates. Bench staff arrives at a call it off decision. And away goes jam number 3, about 1 period 2. One of these days I will get all of my nouns for these segments of roller derby nailed down. Crescent Winch trying to nail down that lead jammer status for the Bangers. Road Rage trying to get through as well for the Friends. Road Rage trying to get around Kitten Boots, Hex Girlfriend, Scrap Baby, and able to beat feet on the middle, or on the inside of the track. Road Rage picks up lead jammer for the Friends. Crescent Wench moves those hips out just enough for them to get around Daryl B. Blood. Road Rage doing some... Road Rage knocks over Starley Parker. Everybody's sorry about everything. Road Rage did pick up a couple of points, though, so at least Snarly will be able to, have something to show for the bruise. Batty Longlegs once again for the Violent Friends. El Dente for the Bangers. A little bit of strategery being passed around there by Hips Ahoy to the rest of her friends. Deja Bruise, Scrap Baby, and Flirty... No, it's Patty Nar. It's a sharp angle up here, folks. We have a penalty being called and a very quick hip maneuver there by Batty Longlegs, picking up lead jammer status once again for the Friends. El Dente keeping those toes a-twinkling. Runs into Pop Roxy. Pop Roxy able to buy enough time for the rest of her friends to come join her for more defense. That is what the blockers are out there for, it's a block. Batty Longlegs jukes from the inside to the outside. Disco Scream going to the box. Looked like incidental contact there. El Dente is out for not lead jammer, but Batty Longlegs has 4 more points. Calling it once again, trapping Disco Scream in the box. There better be an award for most trapped in the penalty box at end of the jams, because, she's running away with that one. Getting heart signs from their third base coach. It's Mo Rotter in the bottom left of your screen. 5 seconds until jam 6 of half number 2 of game 1 of our championship bout. Halibut for the Friends, yes, Chef for the Bangers. Both jammers trapped behind different colored shapes out there. It's Daryl Cutie and Bruisin' Susan. An Electric Cutie for the Friends. Halibut picks up lead jammer. The Bangers being yelled at to get to the front. Boots got the memo. Boots gets bounced there by Halibut and calls it off. Disco Scream not caught in the box at the end of that one. Trying to reposition my HDMI receiver. I might give that thing a break between the first and second games of the evening. Hex Girlfriend jamming for the Bangers against Road Rage for the Friends. Able to worm her way through on their way through on the middle is Hex Girlfriend, picking up lead jammer status and around the track in a hurry. Big hurry. Road Rage is still trapped in the pack. Hex Girlfriend approaching the back of the pack at speed. Ooh, big collision against the wall. Pops right back up. Like, Hex Girlfriend picked like the one spot on the wall where we don't have any padding whatsoever. Nearly took out Tim Knox, our photographer. Approaching at speed is Hex Girlfriend. Running into Assault and Nattery, and then to Pop Roxy. Pop Roxy pops Hex Girlfriend out of bounds to the outside, forcing them to recycle. Hex Girlfriend's had enough, calls it off. Points for the Bangers, 7 of them, courtesy of Hex Girlfriend. Showing that wall who's boss and making a triumphant debut for the Bangers. Oh yeah, by the way, the Bangers are starting on a power jam. This will be Patty Narr with the star. Waiting for Road Rage to come out. Patty Narr trying to take advantage of some of the offense. The blockers for the Bangers have now just one assignment, and that is to get Patty Narr out of that pack. Ooh, Hips Ahoy took a spill and unfortunately landed right in front of Patty Narr, which may be a low block. Nope, that'll be Disco Stream doing something wrong again. Something got called on Bruce and Susan. And the friends are once again in the box. Patty Narr approaching the back of the pack. Daryl B. Blood is getting out of the way for Patty Narr. Patty Narr doing some wing flaps, but not calling off the jam, as she doesn't have to yet. Road Rage employing some spin moves, trying to get around Kitten Boots and Flirty Fly. Patty's foot tapped the inside of the track as she went down on this other apex furthest from the camera. Road Rage has the star in her hand and is being kept in the inbounds by Road Rage, or by Kitten Boots. The box is clear of friends. Hips Ahoy barreling through El Dente, staying upright and inbounds to complete the star pass for the friends. This is going to be the full 27 remaining seconds. Hips Ahoy sustaining a hit from Kitten Boots. Patty Narr scoots to the middle and picks up 4 points for the Bangers. I heard a whistle, and that means Nacho Lady's going to the box for the Bangers. 4 points getting picked up there by Hips Ahoy for the friends. Nearing that century mark. Crowd going wild for the Bangers here in Quincy Hall. Calls it a big jam for the Bangers. 12 whole points picked up by Patty Narr. I don't even know how that one started. There was so much action going on. We got a timeout being called by Team Blue. Hooah! A lot of action. Both teams seem evenly matched. Only 33 points separating the both of them. Violent Friends look to be approaching the century mark first. But you never know. You just never know. 9 minutes and 25 seconds left for the first game of the evening. Pop Roxy has joined me up here in the booth. I'll get it on camera here in a second. We're getting some poses out there, posing for Tim Knox, our valiant photographer. We're going to pick the action right back up here now that the team timeout has completed. Batty Longlegs against Crescent Wench. A little trackside reminder here from you have to be 18 or older to be sitting trackside. Oh, an outside to inside move and some fancy footwork from Batty Longlegs means that the Friends once again have lead jammer status. Crescent Wench has taken the star off. Their jammer is right next to them. Little subterfuge, perhaps, not fooling Pop Roxy. Able to knock Crescent Wench to the outside. Betty Longlegs getting a hip check there from Rude Barb, and thinks the better of picking up a track cut. Picks up 4 points for the Friends, and that is the century mark was eclipsed. Last scoring pass. Pop Roxy going to the box for reasons. Crescent Wench being stared down by Oxford Trauma. Oxford Trauma providing some reverse direction. Ooh, big hit there. Collision between Yes Chef and Batty Longlegs in front of your screen. Batty Longlegs saw that Rude Barb baited Batty Longlegs into a track cut. And Batty Longlegs does the nope, I'm not doing it. I know what I did. I'm sorry. Here I go. I'm being legal. And now calls off the jam. 111 for the Friends. The Bangers scoreless for jam number 9 of half number 2. Pop Roxy is standing in the box, so she will be rejoining her team here in 10 seconds or less to start jam number 10. Patty Nar versus Halibut. They've been doing their fun running person robot arms thing. It's probably accurate. Scrap Baby, Deja, Bruise, Boots, and Aria blocking for the Bangers. We already have a multiplayer block being called on Assault and Nattery. That means Patty Nar is going to take advantage of the confusion and bust out for lead jammer. Pop Roxy directing some traffic. Trying to get Bruisin' Susan, Snarly Parker, and herself all on the same page. Lead jammer finally getting picked up about 30 seconds into the jam by Halibut. I am mistaken. Patty Nar, I believe, was the lead jammer. That's who called it off. Regardless, jam 11 is done. We have an official review being called by the Friends. Getting thumbs up from a couple of the skaters. Getting the never mind we're going from Class Warfarin. Little pre-game activities between El Dente and Marlboro Dread. Skates do get caught up with one another, and it's all usually by accident. If it's not by accident, it's a penalty, and we will get you. Road Rage versus Yes Chef. Yeah, the official the Friends did a little takey backsies for the official review. 5 seconds is called. Road Rage going up against Nacho Lady, Rude Barb. Appears to be Flirty Fly and El Dente. And away it goes. Yes, Chef on the inside line around Marlboro Dread. Picking up lead jammer for the Bangers. Road Rage not too far behind, about 50 or so feet. Maybe 40. I can't count. Assault and Nattery picking up a penalty for, I'm sure, something that happened that was illegal. Something happened at the very end. We're going to have a sauerkraut discussing with Spitfire. How many points they were supposed to be getting. Yep, that's Rego Derby with the GoPro on the helmet. Maybe he and I shall connect for some footage exchange. Anyways, here we go with Crescent Wench versus Batty Longlegs once again. Crescent Wench once again running up against the shoulder of Pop Roxy and getting knocked to the inside, allowing Batty Longlegs enough time to pick up that lead jammer. Pop Roxy providing a little bit of safety there for the rest of her team, buying enough time so the rest of her team can rejoin and allow Batty Longlegs to pick up some more points, outrunning Boots. Crescent Wench is out for the initial pass. That means the Friends are going to want to keep this a little bit quick until we get to the apex. Betty gets around a couple of Bangers, 2 exactly, in fact. 5-minute mark is here. The friends are starting to pull away. We've got a team timeout being called by the Bangers. This timeout brought to you by P-Fund, a community-led foundation building community and providing resources for LGBTQ plus individuals across the Upper Midwest and the First Nations therein. Shout out to P-Fund, longtime sponsor of North Star Roller Derby. Shout out to Track Maintenance, Raven the Dead, and Blunt Force Trauma. Yeah, if you care to join us here in Quincy Hall, you're able to vote on the Platinum Player, your favorite player of the bout. We're going to be continuing this. Patty Nar has noticed the large face of Roxy, which again you cannot see because I positioned the camera in a way that suited me. I will move it off to the side perhaps a little bit so you can see it, or just dangle it over the side of my trapezoid. Thank you for joining us here for your special rebroadcast of the championship night here in Northeast Minneapolis at Quincy Hall. Thanks to Quincy Hall for hosting us. This is our second season here at Quincy Hall. Hopefully it's not the last. There's no reason to believe that it will be the last. We like these guys. We like this place. It's very charming. It's very cozy. It's very much our vibe. We're tucked behind the corner of Broadway and Central Avenue here in Northeast, down the street from Indeed Brewing. Shout out Indeed Brewing. We got the Not Your Whistle whistle. Blunt Force Drama frantically applying tape and then leaving. Once again, shout out Track Maintenance. Five seconds is called. Patty Nar versus Halibut. I'm sure you all know which teams they're skating for, but just in case, Halibut's for the friends and out on the outside line. Moving them feet real quick like. And swimming to the front of the pack is Halibut. Patty Nar has the star in hand, looking to pass it to a girl has no name. In the meanwhile, Halibut getting caught in the middle of a shape of blue. That'll be Flirty Fly Boots and Rhubarb. Finally able to move them side to side and get out on the outside is Halibut. Coming back around is Halibut. Looking for some offense from the friends. A little bit opens up on the inside line, but hitting the deck thanks to a hit from Boots. There's a little bit of discrepancy here as Rego Derby noticed that Halibut swerved inbounds to out of bounds as she was calling it off, and they are debating as to whether or not they're going to stick her in the box for it. Sleigh Station is showing up on the outside. We have a little bit of a crossed wires here. Cross wires because we are still debating as to whether or not there was a penalty being committed on the outside line. On that second straightaway there, next to our lovely banners, the True North Roofing banner, we got the Museum Services Incorporated banner. P-Fund, our trans athletes belong on our track, and you bet your bottom they do. Cream and Amber banner and the Indeed Brewing banner. If you're watching this on the special rebroadcast, and that's the only way you can watch it unless you've joined the throng of the sold-out crowd here at Quincy Hall, Indeed is usually where we have our after parties because it's right down the street. Also, their beer is really good. Also, they're very nice people. Also, the space is nice. Also, we've already paid for parking in their parking lot. For all of these reasons and more, please visit Indeed. They're very nice. We are doing a silent auction, and all of those items will be sold by the time you are listening to this. There's links. You've seen them. It's on the socials. Everybody has seen all of those things. Many handmade items. It may or may not surprise you to learn that many roller derby players are quite crafty folk. And they have made a great many impressive items. Roxy talking some strategy with Snarly, Bruce, and Cutie. Suspecting that they may be starting on a penalty kill. Okay, so I guess, nothing happened. Road Rage is raring to go at the Not Your Whistle whistle. There's the 5 seconds. It's going to be El Dente versus Road Rage. Bangers versus Friends. To get Jam 16 underway. Road Rage able to just kind of do the same thing she did before the whole thing was blown off. Picking up lead jammer for the Friends. El Dente trying to dance back and forth and around. We have a no pack being called by the officials, so the blockers must cease and reform said pack. Road Rage being told to call it after picking up 4 points. And call it she does. Thus endeth jam number I will tell you in a moment. People made fun of me when I wanted to bring walkie-talkie. They didn't make fun of me. I'm not throwing shade. Not tonight on Championship Bout Night. It's going to be Scarlet Express for the Bangers versus Batty Longlegs on the Friends. Scarlet Express moving some Friends side to side, but picking up a track cut because those wheels just rolled ever so slightly over that rope. It's power jam time for the Friends for jam number 16. Batty approaching its speed and handling the knife work through the Bangers deftly. 4 more points for the Friends. Looking to double up the score on the Bangers. Offense is happening and Batty is scoring. Jammer standing. That will be Scarlet Express in the front of your screen, or bottom of your screen, I should say. Batty Longlegs so good at absorbing contact, getting sideways and staying in bounds and upright. That'll win you a lot of jammer battles. Scarlet Express, meanwhile, is out for that initial pass, half a track behind Batty Longlegs and the rest of the pack. Another Batty step over the apex for 4 more points. That'll be a 16-point jam for Batty and the Friends. People are touching my camera again. Shout out to boundaries and respecting them. Okay, so this will be Halibut and Crescent Wench for the Friends and the Bangers, respectively. Crescent Wench approaching a pack of Pop Roxy, Hips Ahoy, Bruisin' Susan, and Snarly Parker. Ex-girlfriend providing a bridge. Bridging is quite a nuanced objective for roller derby. If you've ever played, you know what I'm talking about. Colite telling Wench to take the hat off. Pop Roxy playing a little bit of a game of chicken there with A Girl Has No Name trying to hit Crescent Wench to the outside. Halibut sustaining a hit from Kitten Boots and able to get around Nacho Lady as well. Crescent Wench approaching the back of the pack. A Girl Has No Name is offending Pop Roxy. Pop Roxy popping Crescent Wench to the outside of the pack. Pop Roxy avoiding the friendly fire there and making sure that Halibut was not getting Pop Roxied. Crescent Wench getting some encouragement from the crowd. And back in the middle of the pack. Hex Girlfriend heading to the box. for a reason that will be written down and recorded. Nacho lady being like, I didn't do it. Class warfare and be like, yeah, you did. 30 seconds left. That is a track cut there, Halibut. You can't call it off when you're committing a track cut. A Girl Has No Name has accepted the star pass from Crescent Winch. We have a back block penalty now being called against A Girl Has No Name. A little jammer swap maybe. There's only 4 seconds left in the game. And that will do it. That'll be our unofficial final score. 155 for the Friends, 72 for the Bangers. Big hugs coming out there from Pop Roxy. Pop Roxy and kitten boots. I love you, Pop Roxy. Little birdie told me that this may be Roxy's final skating opportunity as a friend. She'll stick around. Welcome back to the roller derby action. I have used the magic of editing on YouTube.com to make sure that there was as little time as possible between the first bout and the second one. Maybe I'll even bust them up into different videos. I won't tell you because I will have already made that decision by the time you're listening to my voice. Second bout coming up this evening. And the Kilmores are for the Kilmores. We got number 96, Betty Rocker. Number 114 is Big Disgrace. Number 73 is Bonks. Number 833 is Buzzkill. Number 778 is Cheeseburger. Number 404 is Deja Brews. Number 816 is Eternal Jamnation. Number 120 is Face Smelter. Number 193 is Giraffic Jam. Number 44 is Jim Rat. Number 1300 is Katarina Hit. Number 10 is Carmageddon. Number 91 is Re-Beast. Number 17 is Red Hot Toddy. Number 1949 is Red Panda. Number 58 is Salty Mod. Number 906 is Sassberry. Number 6 is Weezus Christ. Number 911 is Weird Val Shankovich. And they're bench coached by Marge Hadron Collider Bobash and Babe Froman, former Kilmores All. And away they go, the Kilmores. And here come the Deltas. Delta Die here to defend their championship. Season 19 champs hoping to recreate that photo this evening. Number 300 is Aerial Assault. Number HO11A is Baller. Number 796.2 is going to be Black Eyed Susie. Blue Barracuda. Number 40 is Crust, I believe. Number 7 is Guillotina. Number 622 is Kilroy. Number 612 is Lunatic. Number 2X4 is Lumber Jill. Number 00 is Nervous Rack. Number 33 is Sailor Doom. Number 45 is Scarlet Raven. Number 4 is Shankarella. Number 19 is Undervalued Participant. Number 20 is Slim Sadie. Number 1964 is Sunny Ono. Number 3 is Super Hut. Number 29 is Boomafoo. And they are bench coached by David Smashelhoff and Jack. As the Deltas looking to defend their title today. All right, so we're going to get underway here in just a moment. Officials will get set. Delta Die chant here on the first, second, third turn. Nearly ready to get going here. The Kilmores have spent all season gearing up for a rematch. So let's see what they got. We're going to put Sassberry out there first for a jammer. Yep, Deltas do, in fact, field a team. Love to see that. You'll see Sassberry versus Slim Sadie. Both veteran, successful jammers. Sassberry is going to try to get through Guillotina, Killer, a.k.a. Kilroy, Lunatic, and Blue Barracuda. Slim Sadie trying to get through Buzzkill, Carmageddon, Re-Beast, and it looks like Weird Val Shankovich. Shank-a-B word for the kids out there. Shape rapidly forming there by the Deltas. Sash shoving and attempting to get some distance between, or make some space. Sadie's made enough space, and she's out for lead jammer. Kilmores getting back together as Sadie approaches the back of the pack. Big wind up and hit. That'll be a back block penalty being called on. Whom will the back block be called on? Rego Derby is approaching the middle, attempting to make sure his voice is heard. Yep, Slim Sadie did actually commit that back block, so Slim Sadie is going to be going to the box, and Katarina Hitt for the Kilmores is going to be trying to maximize their opportunity here on the first power jam of the game. Katarina Hitt trying to take advantage of the offense being played by her team. That will be Red Panda, Red Hot Toddy, Eternal Jam Nation. And me drawing a blank. That'll be Deja Bruce. Katarina Hitt nearly able to get around Lumber Jill and Crust Almighty. Nervous rack, bracing her teammates. Shankarella providing a bridge. And the Deltas have effectively killed that penalty, allowed Sadie to get out of the box after serving the full 30 seconds and picking up lead jammer. Katarina Hitt with a very crafty shrug out of the way, avoiding that last-minute hit by Lumber Jill. Sadie being yelled at to call it after getting hit to the inside by Red Panda. 3 points for Sadie despite starting the jam in the box. 1 point for Katarina Hitt, and the Kilmores getting them on the board. Well, both teams are now on the board, as Sadie did not actually get points for that pass that she also committed a penalty on. David Smashelhoff making an appearance. This will be number 011 Baller going for the jammer as the Deltas. Bonks for the Kilmores. Deft shapes being made by both teams. They're like a bowl of Cheerios out there. Everybody's just getting glued to everybody else. Out goes Baller, though, for lead jammer for the Deltas. Meanwhile, Bonks has stashed the star, looking for that ever-elusive pivot who happens to be Salty Maud, who could not be further away if she tried. Bonks has completed that initial pass. Baller approaching the back of the pack, looking to pick up additional points for the Deltas. Trying to make a statement here on the championship night. Staying on her tiptoes around Chibi, a.k.a. Cheeseburger. 2 points for her efforts. Holding Bonks and the Kilmores scoreless. Sassberry is sassed back on the track. Oh, and so Slim Sadie. How about that? Going to see a lot of this today. Kilmores have been appearing to take the front of the pack, trying to stay out of the scrum of Deltas. Slim Sadie trying to blaze a pass. Sass follows that path out for lead jammer status. Slim Sadie only about 30 feet behind her. Both of these jammers are quick. And now so is that pack. Each of those, none of those skaters out there want to be a point against their team. Here comes Sassberry trying to pick up points. That'll be one set of hips. Let's see if she gets points for it because she was hit out of bounds as she got them. Sauerkraut is going to discuss with Rift Track on the outside of, we're now in the middle of the track, I suppose. That'll be a point. Sass got it. Doubling the score of the Kilmores to 2. Katarina Hitt is back for the Kilmores. Sailor Doom coming out for the Deltas. Kilmores once again trying to make sure that they stay at the front of the pack so they can play their game. Katarina Hitt and the rest of the Deltas, however, really going at it. Sailor Doom keeping those legs moving, trying to stay up, and then there goes Katarina Hitt. Some wily, crafty veteran moves on the inside line of that first apex, able to pick up lead jammer status for the Kilmores, and Doom is still stuck behind the Kilmores, and of course the commentator's curse is alive and well, and out goes Sailor Doom on the outside. Picking up not lead jammer status. Katarina Hit trying to pick up some points. Uses that wily veteran jammer sense to be like, oh yeah, that's that other jammer's like right there, aren't they? Shout out to my camera table protection crew, Chal and Luke. Making sure people stop jostling my camera. Gosh darn it. Bonks versus Baller. You can identify Baller by, well, obviously the outfit. Very solid blocking there being played by Aerial, Assault, Zabumafu, and Sonny Ono. Undervalued participant is there to shove Aerial into Bonks. Baller is out for lead jammer. And Bonks is now out. Salty Mod gesturing to the rest of the Kilmores to get up in front as fast as they can. Baller colliding with Cheeseburger and Salty Mod, able to pick up points. He calls it off after picking up all 4 for that pass. The champs coming out making a statement here in the first half dozen jams. Sass and Sadie on the track as jammers. Sadie's wearing the pink star. We got Sass under the green star. Well, it's a gold star on a green helmet. Sue me. Attacking that seam is Sasbury trying to get through Scarlet Raven, Guillotina Killer, and Super Hut. Sadie, meanwhile, big pile up there on the first straightaway. Sending Weezus Christ to the floor, along with Carmageddon, Buzzkill, and Weird Valshanka B-Word. Both jammers got around the opposing team's defense at approximately the same time, just in different locations. So Sasbury is going to get lead jammer. That is a fast pack. Weezus Christ being beckoned to get up with that, with the rest of her skaters, and does. Sasbury trying to put on that speed. Everybody's going as fast as they can. And Sass calls it after picking up 1 point. 1 more point for all that effort. But 1 point is 1 point. And they're not going to say no. Another zebra dazzle. It's a gathering of zebras. It's a dazzle. No one cares about animal collectives anymore. Officials have discussed, and they are now done discussing, and they're going to go back to officiating. They're going to officiate Katarina Hit jamming for the Kilmores against 33 Sailor Doom for the Deltas. Sailor Doom has a very frenetic, very high activity jammer style, whereas Katarina Hit is more calculating. Doom able to fight through a couple of Kilmores, only to be swallowed up by a couple of more Kilmores. Katarina Hit not having a whole lot more luck against Lumberjill. Oh, there comes Red Panda in for some pretty good offense, I should say. Star pass happens, and Salty Mod is now your jammer of note for the Kilmores. Doom is pumping up that crowd, as I'm sure you can hear. Doom approaching the back, picking up as many points as she can. Salty Mod, however, pleading her case. 2 points for each team. It'll mean that 10-point differential will remain as we go into jam number 9. Sass wearing the pivot. They're going to send Bonks out underneath the star for the Kilmores. Pivoting for the Deltas is Sonny Ono, and Baller as the jammer. And here we have a similar story, a triangle of pink in the back. Baller able to get out for lead jammer once more. Sass approaching the back, looking for that star pass. Bonks being encouraged, let's say, by Weird Val to get to the front to get that star pass completed, and completed it does. Completed it is. And Baller calls it off after picking four more points. Put the Deltas at 21, Kilmores at 7. A paltry 14 points between these teams. A lot of hit it and quit it's. Strong defense. Smart star passes to limit those scoring passes. We've not seen any multi-point or multi-pass jams yet from either team. You can rewind and correct me, probably. Shout out to people in the comments. Both jammers are now stuck behind the Deltas. That'll be Lunatic, Lumberjill, and Crust Almighty. They now let Sailor Doom out so that she can start jamming again. Doom is going to get around Face Smelter, Salty Mod, and Big Disgrace. For the lead jammer, Katarina Hit has the star in hand, but it was all a ruse, and picks up not lead jammer. Wow, Doom attempting an apex jump. It runs into the back of Face Smelter, as well as Big D. No pass, no points. We're going to find out, well, if Doom did pick up any points for her efforts. They're talking about it. They've got 13 seconds to figure it out. Marge Hadron Collider literally pleading her case before going back to her spot as the bench coach. Slim Sadie versus Bonks. Bangers versus Kilmores. Sadie shoving against, well, every other Kilmore out there. Swing and a miss there by Carmageddon allows Slim Sadie to get that lead jammer status. Bonks is looking for a pivot. It is Buzz. Buzz is busy, though. Ooh, big hit there by Weird Val on Sadie. Pop her up in the air and inbounds to make sure she doesn't get any more scoring completed. Reeby's providing some safety there, making sure Sadie doesn't get out without a fight. But out she does get for 4 more points for the Deltas. Kilmore's looking for an answer here. Killer knocking Bonks out and then sustaining a hit from Weird Val. Slim Sadie in the meanwhile dancing around some Kilmores in the front for 4 more points. This is our first I think it's the first multi-pass jam of the second game here. Sadie getting pinned on the inside there by Carmageddon, but there goes the Boomafu with some deft offense, allowing Sadie a relatively easy pass through. 40 seconds are still remaining in this jam. The star pass has just been completed. Rebeast hit Sadie out of bounds, but went out of bounds herself. Buzz gets that star hat on. Stashes it and is hunting down Slim Sadie. Little 1-foot collapse action. Run back by Killer. Sadie also being ran back. 5 seconds remaining. And Slim Sadie able to pick up how many more points? That'll be 2 additional points. Well, that'll be 2 points for the Kilmores and 2 more for the Deltas, opening that lead wide open. 30 points, 18 huge points put up by Slim Sadie. What a jam. Very timely timeout being called here by the Kilmores, making sure that everybody's still got their heads about them. In the meanwhile, I'm going to find some more advertisements to talk about. Kim Monahan is your local Northwestern Mutual financial advisor who believes that everyone deserves a financial plan, and that the starting point of any financial conversation should be with you, your life, your family, and your priorities and your goals. You can connect with her at the vendor tables or call her at 952-224-3822 and learn more about how you can build a financial plan that prioritizes what is most important to you. Thank you to Kim Monahan at Northwestern Financial for being a long-term supporter of North Star. I got here when Roxy got here, which was approximately 13 years ago. Shout out to Pop Roxy. First team timeout is over with. First or perhaps many. I don't know. My Magic 8 ball, I dropped it and it's gone now. F's in chat for my Magic 8 ball that I totally owned and I'm not making up right now. All right, 906 Sasbury jamming for the Kilmores against Sailor Doom. Sass trying to get around Killer, Aerial Assault, Nervous Rack, and Super Hut. Super Hut's up playing offense. Offense was effective, but stifled by Red Panda and the rest of the Kilmores. Oh, they thought they popped her out. Didn't happen. And there goes Sailor Doom for more lead jammers for the Deltas. Sasbury, star in hand, thought she was in the clear, but Kilroy pops out of nowhere and pops Sasbury out to the outside. Star pass is successful. That'll be to Red Panda. And away she goes. Star on head. However, Sailor Doom puts hands on hips, and that'll be the end of jam number 12. 4 points for Doom. None for the Kilmores. Cobra is touching my table. I see you doing that, Cobra. Feel free to drag Cobra in the comments. This will be Katarina Hit versus Baller for the Kilmores and the Deltas. Deltas still maintaining that front of the pack situation, trying to lean on their defense. Meanwhile, Katarina Hit being dragged back 20 feet behind the jammer line by the Delta blockers. Crust going up for offense for Baller. Now we have some split pack, some bridging happening, some deft recycling occurring up at the front by the skaters in green. Karma able to catch Baller before she was able to get on the first apex. Meanwhile, Katarina Hit trying to operate against Scarlet Raven, Lumberjill, and Crust Almighty. Baller giving a little head shake to Zabumafu to provide some offense. Got everything moving. And the Kilmores reform yet again. Bit spread out, though. And that allows Baller to get through after paring down the blockers to just 2. Baller, you can see the flags out. Well, you can't quite see the flags out there. They're just off to the... Oh, a little fancy footwork there by Crust Almighty against Salty Mod. The star pass was completed. It's a hard-fought 4 points for Baller and the Deltas. Slim Sadie approaching the jam line in a determined manner. Her opposing jammer, Sasbury, taking her place beside her. The jam has started, much to the surprise of the jammers. Slim Sadie nearly out on the inside, but Red Panda gave it a shrug, and away goes Slim Sadie to the middle. Sasbury picked up lead jammer. That's what Sass was doing. Sass taking advantage of some confusion and getting the easiest pass of the night so far. The star pass has been completed. Kilroy is now your jammer of note for the Deltas for jam number 14. Ooh, a little hip swivel there for Sasbury and the Kilmores, putting 4 more points up on the board. 8 for the Kilmores. That's been their most successful jam of the evening, I think. Again, you can rewind and correct me. Drive that engagement. Leave a comment. You know how the YouTube works. We're all adults. We have a little jammer switcheroo. Or a jammer something or other going on there between Katarina Hit and Bonks. Bonks is going to jam for the Kilmores for jam number 15. Sailor Doom for the Deltas. Sailor Doom shoving and jostling against Weird Val, Carmageddon, Eternal Jam Nation, and Buzz. Here comes some offense by Crust Almighty. Crust able to knock Weird Val to the back. Weird Val going to look to provide some offense for Bonks. We have a penalty being called. It looks like something happened to someone and they did something wrong. Many whistles are happening. Nobody is leaving. Okay. That'll be Shankarella going to the penalty box. Relatively clean game so far. A little Kilmore on Kilmore action leads to some confusion, and Bonks is going to play it safe and not pick up a track cut. The bad news, though, is that she is now trapped behind more deltas. Buzz able to handle Doom with the assist of Weird Val and Carmageddon. Big hit there from Crust Almighty on the side-to-side action there of Bonks. Bonks being led here by Buzzkill. Bonks able to see a little bit of daylight on the inside, but that daylight is eclipsed by Lumberjill. Adding to the despair of Bonks, we have a direction of play penalty being called now on the person that I just talked about. So, apologies to Lumberjill. That was probably my fault. Shout out Delta's Brunch. Everybody seems to be just taking a breather, examining their life choices, except for Doom, who nearly made it in on the inside. Buzz said no, and back they shall go. 3, 2, 1, Doom's just going to stay there. You are not under any obligation to skate backwards on when you are shoved out of bounds in roller derby. You can stay out there as long as you want. That'll be the first intermission, well, rather the third intermission if we're being really technical about it, of the evening. So Delta's trying to put this one out of reach from the Kilmores. Kilmores trying to find a solution to the defense of the Deltas, which has been stifling. Very impressive start here by the Deltas. Kilmores are going to go to the locker room, put their heads together, and come back out swinging. My name's Owen Money, and we will be right back with the final half of the Championship Bout of Season 20. And in the meantime, we got some cloggers. And as long as we don't get DMCA'd, I will leave the microphone out so that you can hear them. We have additional clogging, I believe. Yes, we do. Away they go. Shout-outs, happy birthday, Albine Kaiser. Buzz is glad you are celebrating your birthday party with North Star Roller Derby. Our photogs for the evening are Shay Finley, Sean Shea, and Tim Knox. EMTs, Kitty Nip. Volunteers, Eric, Anna, Rhoda Rash, Blunt Force Drama, Raven the Dead, Gory Strode, Joan, Gooley, and Morg. Entertainment, Mac Mechanics, a.k.a. Mr. Stabby, Eric 2, and the Wild Goose Chase Cloggers, who you see before you now. Thank you to the Wild Goose Chase Cloggers. We have all been clogged. Shout out to our temporary mic stands, your in-house announcers, plus Rude Barb, and a valiant participant whose name I did not grab. Well, the clogging's done, so we should probably play more roller derby. Delta's made a statement in the first half. Let's see how the Kilmores come back and answer. I'm hearing mirthful laughter from the Kilmores, so the spirits are high. They are determined. Delta's looking to, well, the two teams are going to keep situating where the two teams were situating in the first half. The Kilmores trying to take the front, the Delta's trying to take the jam line. Oh yeah, shout out Silent Auction. Rolling whistle means this is not the start of the first jam of the second period of the Championship Bout. Kilmores are going to send Katerina Hit out to jam against Baller for the Deltas. Oh, a little bit of a crafty jersey grab from the wily veteran Katerina Hit. Able to stay inbounds and get out for lead jammer, half a track ahead of Baller. That temporarily stashed the hat as an act of subterfuge. There goes Katerina Hit putting 4 points up in the air, and 4 points is agreed by Slay Station 2 on the inside there. Kilmore's off to the start they're hoping for. Just got to do that like, 12 more times? Yeah, at least 12. Five seconds until Sailor Doom starts jamming for the Deltas and Bong starts jamming for the Kilmores. Again, like I mentioned, both teams seem to be content with their jam starts. Oh, able to keep their balance and stay inbounds as Sailor Doom after a big hit attempt there by Red Panda, who will now be the jammer of note now that the star has been passed. Deltas coming to the back. Here comes Sailor Doom. One hand out of bounds does not mean that you're out of bounds. Ooh, a little head juke there by Sailor Doom, able to pick up 4 points. Doom's being yelled at to call it by Black-Eyed Susie, their third base coach. Doesn't call it, which means that Panda's able to pick up 4 points for the Kilmores. Another head fake by Sailor Doom, and more carnage for Kilmores on the track. That'll be all 4 points for Sailor Doom. We're going to go to our downtime ticker. Silent auction is officially closed. Shout out Silent Auction, everybody who donated and made crafts there for. Okay. Sit rep for Big D. Looks like she's okay. She's going to get checked out by Kitty Nip, our valiant, stalwart, ever-esteemed EMT. We're going back to the action. One of the things that I am now realizing is a thing, and I think I've talked about this before, is jammer matchups. So you want to make sure that if you're trying to maintain a lead, you're putting your lead jammer out there against their lead jammer. Or their top jammer, I should say, just to make sure that any damage done is mitigated. As I've said all that, that kind of seems like a word salad. Anyhow, it's Slim Sadie for the bank for the Deltas against Sasberry, who got out right away thanks to some offense and chaos for the Kilmores. Sadie is still in the pack, now out of the pack, as Sass approaches the back looking to pick up points. Scoots through on the inside once again, hits it and quits it. 4 more for the Kilmores, holding the Delta scoreless. Katerina Hit once again for the Kilmores. Baller for the Deltas. Deltas on the jam line. Kilmores approaching from the front, attempting to muddle up their defense while playing defense on their own. And the jammers will now dictate what happens. We're going to get an immediate penalty. It's going to be called on Katerina Hit for a blank. I'm guessing high block or a forearm. Salty Mud, last line of defense, and it is effective against Baller. Salty trying to run her back, only able to get back as far as Shankarella will allow her. Another penalty being called. We have a direction to play penalty being called on Lumberjill. Baller is out. Lead jammer status for the Kilmore for the Deltas. Salty making Baller do the oof noise. keeping that easy pass from being easy at all. Katerina Hitt doing that hip bump. Toddy buying enough time for Salty to knock Baller out of bounds. Followed very closely by Deja Bruise and Weezus Christ. Here comes Katerina Hitt, staying in bounds on one toe stop. Striking a pose for our photographers. Katerina Hitt still operating there efficiently against the Deltas, picking up 4 more points. Here come the Deltas. Baller was trying to call it off, got called on a cut, and now it's a power jam for the Kilmores, and Katerina Hitt striking while the iron's hot. They are the Kilmores. They are determined and organized, and they're going to make the most of this one. Katerina Hitt putting up the call, going to the outside, baiting for the offense from Salty Mud and Deja Bruise. Delta's sniffing that one out right away. Katerina Hitt trying to stay on those twinkly toes, and that'll be the end of the jam. Baller did pick up 4 points before she went to the box, so that'll still be 4 points for the Deltas and 2 more for the Kilmores. 41-66. Don't count the Kilmores out. The Green Machine is up and run. Well, the Green Machine is the travel team. That's the Supernovas. The Kilmores are their own thing. Apologies to all who were just upset about that. Anyways, Bonks is going to try to get some points and pick up lead jam before Baller gets out of the box. Baller is standing, though, so there's only 10 seconds or less. Conga line offense from the inside. Oh, big hit from undervalued participants, sending Bonks flying to the outside. We have another track cut being committed by Baller. Another power jam for the Kilmores. Bonks stuck, however. That'll be a Red Panda being yelled at by our outside pack ref for a forearm penalty. Baller and Panda saying, "What's up? I didn't want to be here either." Bonks able to snake around undervalued participant and Lumberjill before getting trapped behind them yet again. Kilroy with a last-minute shrug. Hit Bonks out of bounds. Baller is back, and Bonks is still stuck. Baller falling with style to the track. Offense by Lumberjill means Baller is out. A little bit of show personship. Taunting with some head shakes from the bench. Baller spies the inside line, finds it, and an apex hop on the straightaway. Well, that would be a waltz jump, as a matter of fact. Barely on that curve. Baller's coming back with a vengeance. Stays in bounds. Baller being told to go back by Jack. Doesn't want to put Baller back in the box for the third time in like 5 minutes. Delta's answering to the Kilmore's counterpunch. Bonks running Baller all the way back. Bonks has the star in her hand. Baller, a little jammer on jammer action will guide Bonks into the waiting defense of undervalued participant and Kilroy. How did all of that shake out? That is 6 for the Deltas and none for the Kilmores. We're getting an official review, being marched out in a velour suit worn by Marge Hadron Collider and the Kilmores. Perhaps at some point we'll be able to let you know what these official reviews are all about. For now, it is a mystery. Shout out to all of you enjoying our special rebroadcast of the championship bout for season 20 for North Star Roller Derby. Deltas got out of the gate in the first half. Pretty commanding lead, but the Kilmores, again, put their heads together and came out swinging. 31 points, right? Yeah, 31 points. Separate these two teams. if any lip readers want to join me in the AV roost, which is at the top of the trapezoid at the top left-hand corner of your screen, would be pretty helpful. Not gonna lie. Deltas versus Kilmore cheers. Those are always fun. You can participate in the fun yourself by joining us here at Quincy Hall in Northeast Minneapolis. Home team bouts will be posted as soon as we are able to book them. It will be glorious. I promise. As long as people stop touching my table. I'm just going to get Quincy Hall to mount a camera up there. That's the only thing I use this camera for anyway. Why not just, like, you know, glue it to the wall? Hoff doing the Hoff trot out to the team, joining Jack. And the current on the track Deltas. Yakking about stuff. I'm sure it's important. Why wouldn't it be important? If you're liking what you're seeing, you too can participate as a person on roller skates in North Star Roller Derby. If you have a gender, or even if you don't, we have a place for you in the organization. Check us out at NorthstarRollerDerby.com. There's a link to join. You can be an official. You can be a skating official. You can be some of those people that like to talk into microphones with fancy equipment who drag their computers to strange venues. Well, glamorous venues, not strange venues. I was doing a bit. Kind of landed short. The officials are approaching their official positions, which implies to me and to you, the viewer, that the official review has concluded, and we will determine whether or not the Kilmores get to keep their official review. Well, wait, no, I'm getting thumbs up and thumbs down from Sauerkraut. So who knows? Sasbury determined to keep this PG-13. Wait, no, it's the opposite thing. I'm getting a thumbs down from Class Warfare, and so the Kilmores do not get to retain their official review for whatever it was for. And yeah, maybe we'll put it in the comments. Maybe I'll superimpose something over the. I'm setting the bar pretty high. I'm just going to throw this up on YouTube either as soon as I get home or tomorrow morning. Shout out Delta's Brunch. Once Derby starts happening again, we're going to have Sasbury versus Sailor Doom for the Kilmores and the Deltas. Once again, the Kilmores in the front and the Deltas on the jam line. Many jostlings, some jammer on jammer action. Sasbury able to take advantage of the chaos on the outside. Penalty being called, and we're going to find out who got the forearm. It's going to be Chibi. That means Doom has one fewer blocker to get through. A spin move by Sailor Doom, able to break her out on the inside line on the apex. Meanwhile, Sasbury trying to put more points on the board for the Kilmores. Gets points and calls it. Four more. Got four in the air from both the jammer and her jam ref. That'll be Slay Station 2. Sauerkraut saying nope. Nothing for Sailor Doom. 72 for the Kilmores, 45 for the 72 for the Deltas, 45 for the Kilmores. Jeepers creepers. My cold meds are wearing off. Or kicking in. Sound off in the comments. 1,300 is Katarina hit for the Kilmores. 20 is Slim Sadie for the Deltas. Slim Sadie saw daylight. Red Panda said no. Red Toddy said no, but Slim Sadie said, you know what, it's yes, though. Picks up lead jammer, the really fast, lightning fast star pass by the Kilmores. Hopefully keep this as just a 4-point jam for Slim Sadie, unless Katerina Hit had anything to say about it. Nope, Slim Sadie got all 4 of those points in a really quick jam. Jam 7, we hardly knew thee. That's a quick one. Oh yeah, buy some merch. Shout out to merch. Zaboomafoo jamming for the Deltas. Starting jam number 8. Kilroy is the jammer for the Deltas. Salty pivoting for the Kilmores against Sasbury's jamming. Sasbury trying to get around Shankarella. Has just enough daylight on the outside and does. Both jammers, however, getting knocked to the outside of the track and ran back by their opponents. Bonks is blocking along with Weird Val, Shanka B-Word, Salty, and Buzz. For the Kilmores, the Deltas have fielded Undervalley participant Kilroy, Shankarella, and, drum roll please, I believe that is Lunatic. Strong defense by both teams being played here. A little bit more mobile in the back there by the Kilmore. Oh, and Sasbury able to jostle it up just enough to pop out for lead jammer. 51 seconds into that jam. The start is now in hand for Zaboomafoo, looking for Kilroy. Kilroy's busy, though, because Sass is right there. Sass pops all the Deltas to the outside and picks up 4 more points, whittling away at that lead. Plenty of time left. Sass at speed at the back. That'll be a black block. She knew it right away. That'll be Sasbury going to the box. 42 seconds left. No lead jammer, so she will be able to get out. She won't get stuck there. Kilroy, however, stuck behind some pretty ferociously determined blocking by Weird Val before getting out and not lead jammer. That star pass has been successful for the Deltas. Delta's not having to, ooh, big hit there. My Salty Mod. Salty Mod trying to relay the information that, yes, undervalued participant, you did actually pick up a penalty of some kind. Sass is out of the box and out with a fury, picking up 4 more points for the Kilmores. We're coming to a fancy sliding stop there at the jam line and looking for a high five from Kilroy. 53-80, 23-point lead now for the Deltas. Those of you with longer memories than I and perhaps a pen and a paper, I could have been writing this stuff down, but woe is me, I have to yap into a microphone. Kilmore's determined to eat into this lead. Here comes Katerina Hit for the Kilmores against Sailor Doom. Katerina Hit looking at that defense, knowing it's coming. We're getting baited out a multiplayer block from Nervous Rack, and out goes Katerina Hit for lead jammer. Carmageddon and the rest of the kill. We've got a lot of whistles getting blasted right now. We're going to find out what's going on. That'll be Sailor Doom getting called for a penalty of some variety. Katerina Hit putting on the afterburners and sneaking by Sonny Ono. And the rest of the Deltas picking up 4 more points for the Kilmores. Here they come. Big busted pack here. Nobody's around anybody else. Deltas finally get coagulated in the front near the pivot line. Just in time to catch Katerina. Here comes Faye Smelter for some offense. Nervous Rack has been released from the box and is getting goaded in the back by Carmageddon, Red Hot Toddy, and Red Panda. A lot of Reds out there. Better red than dead, I say. Katerina Hit, meanwhile, picking up 4 more points, 61-80. Little bait and switch on the outside, looking for that committal of physical momentum. Speaking of physical momentum, Sailor Doom is out there trying to shove everybody with everything she's got in the back of the pack, creating a lot of chaos and finally being rewarded for her efforts in completing that initial pass. Raffy doing the big flappy, hit it and quit it. Oh, Katerina hits it and quits it in style. 4 more points for the Kilmores. We've got a official timeout. I believe, an official timeout. That is six. The Kilmores hit the funny nice number, 69 to 80. Deltas are at 80. The Kilmores are at 69, and the Deltas have got to find a way to fix this momentum by the Kilmores. Kilmores can smell blood in the water, and they are out to get it. $11 points, what had been a much larger deficit than that. And again, you can rewind and tell me how much that deficit was at the halftime. Well, the Kilmores are coming back, firing on all cylinders. Well, official timeout is happening because of reasons. I'm unsure of what they are. Class Warfare is approaching the Kilmores bench, telling them things and then giving the thumbs up. Everybody knows what everybody else did. I'm guessing that's what the official review was for. The 16-point jam from Katarina Hitt will stand. So it's nice to 80. Kilmore's nipping at the heels of the Deltas, looking to eat into more of this lead. Sasbury out for the Kilmores, Slim Sadie for the Deltas. Sass getting knocked to the inside, or the outside rather, by Blue Barracuda. We've got a penalty being called on Blue Barracuda for her efforts. Slim Sadie getting run all the way back to the jam line, but making that distance up very quickly up to the pivot. Sasbury, meanwhile, trying to operate against, that looks like Crust and Lumberjill. I'm right. It's Crust and Lumberjill. Kilmore's having some pretty good blocking success against Slim Sadie. Up, Slim goes around the outside. Picks up lead jammer status for the Deltas. And a very quick star pass to Salty Maud from Sasbury. Sasbury kind of hovering in the back there, trying to provide some initial defense. A hit there by Weird Valshanka B. Were able to knock Sadie to the inside to buy time for Salty Maud to perhaps get up there and bulldoze her way through the wall of pink. That's Blue Barracuda. It'll be Super Hut, Crust, as I said earlier, and Lumberjill. Slim Sadie once again trapped behind the Deltas. Deltas getting tuned up to Sadie's antics. It's 3 consecutive knockouts to the inside. Salty Maud not having much more success against Super Hut, Jill, and Crust. Salty able to stay in bounds just barely. Sadie making no progress on this second apex. Salty Maud swinging her hips around, picking up all 4 points for the Kilmores, letting the crowd know it. That'll be 2 more for the Deltas, 4 more for the Kilmores. It is a 9-point game. The Kilmores are proven that they are here. That last year they thought it was a fluke, and they're here to prove it. Delta's calling a timeout, trying to kill the momentum. Wise bench coaching on the Deltas. This is wise bench coaching on the Kilmores too. Me. This game brought to you by really wildly exciting amateur DIY sports being played in super cool venues by super cool people. Oh, shout out track maintenance. We got Jim Rat, or James Rathew. I've not been able to say that very often this season. Yes, Chef is going to yes tape the rope to the floor. Followed by, they changed their name, Gory Strode. Someone understands that reference. I know they do. Kilmore's starting a Kilmore's chant. Why wouldn't you? It is a 9-point game. There's only 4.5 minutes left, not even. We're going to be going into jam number 11. Shout out track maintenance and all our volunteers. Both teams have yet to deviate from their who's starting at the jam line approach. That's fine. That's exciting. That's a real big fun time. Doom getting the Doom chants. They're not booing, they're saying Doom. Sailor Doom going up against Katarina Hit. Katarina Hit has found another gear here in the second half. Picks her spot and attacks. Katarina Hit putting the brakes on. Oh, able to sustain a hit from Red Panda, and Red Panda knows the score, and she's going to pick up that star pass right away. Doom is flashing that hand saying, keep going, kiddies go fast. Kiddies run or whatever it is. Somebody knows what that means. We've got a penalty being called. It's a direction of play penalty being called on Lumberjill, which means Red Panda is now scoring points. All she's got to do is get around Crest Almighty, and does. That's 4 points for your not lead jammer, Red Panda. For the Kilmores. Doom is stuck. I don't know how many, if any, points she's already gotten. Well, the Kilmores are like, we're not doing it. That's fit. That's more points for Red Panda. 81-82. Doom has picked up points, so she's not going to be scoreless. But Panda's making everybody pay for it. Panda's got some twinkly toes and some sweet jammer moves. That's more points for Panda and the Kilmores. Let's find out. Do we get a lead change? (81-86). 5-point lead now only for the Deltas, and there's 85-86. That was a 12-point jam. D-Rex is calling 5 seconds. There ain't nobody out there. And somebody's going to whistle this dead, right? I bet they are. That would make sense if they did that. For now, 1-point lead for the Deltas. They're going to make sure the officials are going to congregate in the middle, make sure they're getting it right. It's all on their line. There could possibly be only 2 more jams left. They're trying to get captains into the middle to suss it all out. Getting the captains in the middle, we're going to find out why we have a stoppage here. Incredible effort from the Kilmores coming back out here to make this such a close game. We got some spectators. You can kind of see them on the top middle of your scoreboard or of your screen. Well, you can't see them, I can. The exciting part about Quincy Hall is that, first of all, it's a dope venue. Second of all, there's always pedestrians and other folk like wandering around outside in the parking lot, kind of like looking in on us like, hey, what's that exciting stuff? That exciting stuff is roller derby. It's that real amateur DIY stuff. I say amateur because nobody's getting paid for it, and that's what differentiates potential or professionals from amateurs. But all of these people are putting out every last drop of effort that they have on the track here tonight. This is season 20 championship bout. Deltas and Kilmores. Deltas trying to cling to that lead and their title as the champions of North Star Roller Derby. We have some gesticulation on the inside. We have 2 people going to the box. One of them happens to be a pivot. One of them's not a pivot. They've rescinded the pivot to the box thing. Slammy J getting his steps in as bench coach. something happened such that 2 blockers had to go. So we've got 3-on-3 blockers going on here. This will be Sasbury versus Slim Sadie. 2.5 minutes left of the championship bout. The Kilmores trying to complete the comeback against the Deltas. Both triangles are rock solid at the moment. Different approaches for each jammer. And the Kilmores are backing up into the Deltas. Slim Sadie sees an opening on the inside. Now before Sasbury roars to the outside, picking up lead jammer for the Kilmores, trying to complete the comeback. 1 point differential. 2 minutes remaining. We have a forearm being called on Carmageddon. Salty Maud allowing Slim Sadie to get out for that not lead jammer pass. Sass can call it whenever she wants. She might want to do that real soon and call it she does. Weren't any points accumulated. 2 points, that is a lead change. We've got 87-86 going into what could potentially be the final jam of the championship bout at season 20. The Kilmores have completed a comeback, and now it is anybody's game. Deltas are sitting on 2 timeouts and an official review. We have a timeout now being called by the Deltas. Folks, thank you for joining me for this special rebroadcast, the Season 20 Championship bout between the Deltas and the Kilmores. The Kilmores have taken their blows and punched right back. The Deltas are shoring it up, making sure that this repeat does not slip away. Carmageddon is sitting in the box for, again, the potential final jam of the season. We got some nods. We got people talking to other people. This is a team timeout being called by the Deltas, about to elapse. Rolling whistle by D-Rex. 5 seconds is called. Sailor Doom for the Deltas. Katarina hit for the Kilmores. It could be for all the marbles. Katarina hit with a very fancy piece of footwork on the inside, but getting knocked to the inside once again. Sailor Doom stays in bounds. Very barely. Katarina hit getting knocked to the outside. Big hit from Lumber Jill there on Katarina hit, trying to make her rethink her choices. Here comes Sailor Doom, hero jam time. We have a penalty. Who's it on? It's going to be Lumber Jill. Katarina hit is now out of the pack. 1:25 left on the jam clock, 36 seconds on the period clock. Sailor Doom switching those hips up, staying in bounds. Here comes Katarina hit at speed with determination. Sailor Doom looking at the clock. Can she call it off yet? No, she cannot. We do not know what this score is going to be. Sailor Doom and Katarina hit are in near lockstep until I said that. There goes Sailor Doom. Crowd has now put the 4 points up in the air. Give me a heart attack, Kraut, why don't ya? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 until that period clock expires. The Sailor Doom dare call it off. They've got 90-87 as a lead, but how many points does Katarina have? They're going to call it off. It's 4 for the Kilmores, 3 more for the Deltas. I feel like I'm playing virtual Plinko here. 93 for the Deltas, 91 for the Kilmores. Everybody is holding nobody's holding their applause. They're going freaking nuts over this stuff. Everybody's double checking. This is way too close. This is way too close. Statter confirming with Dr. Dana and Arson Allen. It is official. The Deltas have held off the Kilmores despite a surge in the second half. What an effort by the Kilmores. What an effort by your repeat and still champions. Delta, Delta, die. What a heartbreaker for the Kilmores. What a relief for the Deltas. Get in there. Get your high fives. What a fight. What a bout. The Deltas are going around. They're getting their high fives from the crowd and from their opponents. Holy moly, they held on, the Deltas. Pink flags are a waving, high fives are a slapping. Kilroy getting her hugs from everybody that she just bouted against. Holy moly, what a game. Are you kidding me? You too can be part of the action. Pop over to NorthstarRollerDerby.com. Find that Join Now link and get on roller skates and come down here for this action. Season 20 coming to a close with a real heartbeat. Real heart stopper. What a performance from both teams. Give me a break. 2-point victory for the Deltas after that enormous comeback from the Kilmores. We're going to leave this rolling so y'all can see the VIPs, the platinum players from each of these teams. Chanting's happening from both teams. My name's Owen Money, and you can just listen to the rest of this crowd. Good night.